I'm sure you guys already have a good idea about what weapons are going to be good for Yoimiya, but I'm here to reaffirm for you guys that she's going to have some very strong free-to-play weapons here, ranking right up there with some of the 5-star weapons in the game. So let's touch on this today. Now, to know why some of these weapons are so good, you need to know that Yoimiya's vast majority of damage is coming from her pyro-infused normal attacks from her elemental skill. So a lot of these weapons will be rated around that. It is the vast majority of her damage. She does have an elemental burst. However, it's more of a support sort of thing while she's off the field to help keep up pyro reactions. It doesn't really do that amount of damage that you really should be worried about. So this means that weapons like good old sacrificial bow, right? Favonius warbow, royal bow, compound bow, these are all really bad for her. Ally hunter as well, and the stringless. These weapons are all bottom of the barrel. They don't really do a whole lot to help her out. Elemental skill in the stringless does not affect her elemental skill damage. It is normal attack damage. Because I forgot to mention it, yes, the good old official bow from the event, that one is also not very good here. It gives you physical damage bonus. That's a waste of a stat on this character. I know it increases normal attack damage when your elemental skill deals damage, but guess what? Your elemental skill doesn't do damage. It just changes your normal attack. And on top of that, even if it did proc, the physical damage bonus is just a dead stat. And the other bow that you can use as well is the Viridescent Hunt. It doesn't rate super highly here because it does have crit rate. That is nice. It's got a decent base attack. That is nice. But remember, the proc here isn't really going to do all that much because you're a pyro focused carry. You have a lot of pyro normal attack damage. This proc is a 40% attack mod. That is super low. That's like less than one of your arrows, and it can occur once every 14 seconds at refinement rank 1. So that is a tiny amount. Yes, it hits an AoE, but also you're not an AoE character, and this is not going to make Yoimiya an AoE character. You just be popping off normal attacks left, right, front, and center. If you want to use it, you won't have any of these other weapons, go for it, but it is definitely going to be worse, maybe on par than like a mid-stack Black Cliff war bow. Why these bows are rated the way that they are, and we're also going to be touching on one bow that is always usually pretty good for most characters out there, and this is the Black Cliff war bow. Now this war bow is still pretty good for her. However, out of all the 4-star options that are the good ones for her, it is by far the worst. Why is this, you say? Well, Yoimiya is primarily a single target character. So if you're using her as your main DPS, you're single targeting down a bunch of monsters. Yes, maybe you're going to be fighting a ton of Hilichurls out there, but the Black Cliff Warbow, the whole series, lives and dies on whether or not you can keep up these attack percent increases from killing multiple enemies. This is easier to do if you're having some character do spamming AoE damage. You'll kill a little guy over there, a little guy over there. But if you're just focusing on one big guy, it's going to be kind of hard for you to keep all these stacks up. Remember, the durations of these stacks are independent of each other, so they don't refresh every time you kill something. So that is something else for you to keep in mind as well. Is it pretty good? Yes, it's all right, but it is done out by some of the other weapons that you can gain access to. And this is in the Star Glitter shop. So if you don't have any of these other weapons, although there should be one that you definitely have, this one's a good pickup for you guys as well. Now, next up, let's talk about the new crafted bow from Inazuma. Maybe you haven't unlocked it yet. Maybe your boy Takashi over there hasn't given you the recipe yet. Go collect those mysterious conches and just try every day. Personally, I've done it, I think, every day, and I still don't have it. It's not a thing that I can do, guys, but this weapon right here is going to be amazing for you guys. Now, this weapon here gives you attack percent as the main stat, and then it has the ability, increases normal attack damage by 16% and charge attack damage by 12%. And this is refinement rank 1. On top of that, if your energy is 100%, you're going to be able to double this. So at R1, you get 32% normal attack damage if you have 100% elemental burst, and this plays very well with Yoimiya's playstyle. You use your E, and then before you leave, you pop your elemental burst, you leave, you come back a little bit later. Hopefully by then you have full energy again, and you're going to be popping off. You could also just play her where you just entirely ignore her elemental burst damage. You're leaving a little bit of damage on the table, but it's really not that much damage to leave on the table. Now, if you R5 this thing, it's going to be 32% normal attack damage, and then doubles up to 64%. So this weapon is insanely good for her. It is going to be her second best 4-star weapon. So what's the first one? You guys may have guessed it already. Yeah, it's the Rust. All right, Shroud comes back 2.0. Rust is here. Attack percent as a substat once again, and then increases your normal attack damage. Decreases your charge attack damage, but you don't care about charge attack damage on a Yoimiya. It's really not all that great there. And then you're also going to increase your normal attack damage by 40% at R1. Now, if you've pulled this thing one time, it's amazing. All right, if you have R1 Rust, awesome. If you have R5 Rust, it's 40% normal attack damage increase, which is incredible. So if you have R1 Rust, but you can make an R5 Hamayumi, think about making the R5 Hamayumi, especially if you're down the road thinking of never using her elemental burst, or if you have a team where she could always have that up during her elemental skill activation for that 64% normal attack damage increase. Now, another thing to think about here is the two different weapons here have slight amount of base attack. So Mayumi's lower at 454, Rust's at that 510 range there. So if you have a lot of attack percent substats in your artifacts, Rust is going to be performing a little bit better. They have a little bit more attack. However, if you're using her in conjunction with someone like Bennett, who gives a big attack buff, that R1 Rust can be worse than the R5 Mayumi. Now, the next two are pretty similar. This is going to be the Amos Bow and the Skyward Harp here. The Amos Bow does increase your normal attack damage. However, you're using normal attacks. You're not really doing the fire from a million miles away like Ganyu, or really getting into like Neo for the Matrix and counting the seconds to the explosion of the arrow like Ganyu either. So you're gonna be mid-range. You're never gonna be super long range with the Amos Bow. So you might be able to get like half of that special bonus from the Amos Bow, where it increases your normal attack damage the further your arrow flies. So you get about half of that, right? You're not gonna get the full proc on that at all, because the further away you are with the bow character, the normal attack accuracy really starts to just, what word do I want to use? Just kind of sucks. So you're gonna be missing a lot of your shots if you try to get the max bonus. It's not gonna happen. The Skyward Harp increase your crit damage by 20%, has crit rate as a substat. That little bit of conjunction super awesome there, makes it super easy to build there. But neither of these weapons and none of the weapons are gonna beat the big Thundering Pulse. Now this thing has ridiculous base attack, the highest of all bows in the game. It gives you 20% attack, and it gives you a ton of crit damage as a substat. On top of that, it's going to work just like the new sword we got that works super well with Ayaka, and this is going to give you 3 different stats. These stats can be called Thundering Emblem, and this is going to increase your normal attack damage by 12, 24, or 40%. And it's very easy to do them. Are you ready? If you use your normal attack and you do damage, that's a stack. Awesome. If you use your elemental skill, you get another stack that lasts 10 seconds, the exact same duration as her E. And then the other one is if your energy is less than 100%, you're going to get that other one. So that's going to be pretty easy to do there. You fire off your elemental burst, you come back in, you don't have enough energy yet to have full energy. You pop your E, by the end of it, right, of your E 10-second window, you're going to have enough energy again to fire off your burst, leave, come back with less than full energy, and it's going to be fantastic for you. What you can see here, not a lot of the weapons are that far apart. The Black Cliff Warbow is the one that is lowest on the charts there. The Mayumi and the Rust, both R5, very close together there, and you can see just how close to Amos Bow and the Skyward Harp both at R1 are. In the Thundering Fury, you can see it just kind of taking off to the skies there, up in the clouds, making lightning bolts fly everywhere. I don't even know why. Why is a pyro character and a cryo character using thunder weapons in Inazuma? I'm confused. I guess it's because Inazuma's the thunder region. Whatever, I don't know, but that's gonna really be a good weapon for her there. Obviously, if you have higher refinement ranks of Amos Bow or any of the other 5-star weapons, yeah, they're probably gonna beat out the other weapons because they're just a little bit behind the R5 4-stars, but those R5 4-stars are very monstrous compared to just an R1 5-star weapon. I know this is weapon tier list video, but these weapons all excel, even the ones that boost up your normal attack damage with the new Reminiscent set, which is the set where you drain 15 energy from your elemental burst gauge when you activate your elemental burst to get that 50% bonus. It's a fantastic set for Yoimiya because she's very normal attack focused, very elemental skill infused focused, and that elemental burst is maybe 20-ish% of your total damage if you get every single proc, and it's good to go. So, but if you don't want to use that set, feel free to go ahead and try out something like the Lava Walker set if you're doing a mono pyro team, or the Crimson Witch or the Flame set, especially if you're trying to do like a Vaporize team. But remember, you're not gonna be a Vaporizer mount every hit of her attacks, but she still works out with it. That 4-piece is going to be slightly worse than it is for most other pyro characters. So get prepped, get psyched. Yoimiya is going to be a very easy character to play, and she's got a lot of strong, solid, free-to-play weapon options for you. One of them's crafted, and it's just literally one of her best weapons in the game, not that far behind a lot of the 5-star bows, except the new one there, guys. If you want to see more Genshin Impact content, you know what to do. Hit the sub, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.